Good evening, friends, and welcome back to Emily's Game. Yesterday, Phase 2 of Fight for Pyro was released. I've been too busy to even do Phase 1 yet of Fight for Pyro. Y'all know I started a new job, so it's been very, very busy. So I'm trying to get caught back up on getting back into my YouTube game here, and hopefully I can share some information with you that'll keep you from having to hunt it down yourself and hopefully give you a better understanding of what you need to do what needs to be done. There's a couple of caveats, there's a couple of gotchas here. We're going to go over some frequently asked questions along with this, but let's dig into this. You have three factions in Pyro: the Frontier Fighters, the Headhunters, and the Citizens for Prosperity. There are multiple rewards that you can get for this given certain criteria. So let's dig into what those are. So Pyro is burning. Amid the turmoil in Stanton, the Frontier Fighters have launched an independent campaign to retaliate against the citizens of Pyro. They believe that the only way to prevent future strife is through the complete destruction of Pyro's civilization. Meanwhile, other factions, the Citizens for Prosperity and the Headhunters, are rising up against the Frontier Fighters and are determined to thwart their crusade. Will you fight for Pyro, or do you believe that Pyro is beyond saving? The time has now come for you to decide. Where does your allegiance lie? Be warned, and guys, pay attention to this. The choices you make here matter. The first faction-specific mission you complete will determine your path and rewards in the future. So pay close attention to the next bit of information. If you complete the Fight for Pyro, that's both Phase 1 and Phase 2, you will get an exclusive in-game Ripper SMG. This is, I believe, a laser SMG. I don't have stats on this yet, but I've heard a little bit of chatter about it. I'm excited to check it out. I'm more excited for what the other prizes are. If you've completed the Save Stanton Chapter 1, all phases, as well as what we're going to discuss here, all the Fight for Pyro phases 1 and 2, you will also receive a set of faction-specific ship liveries for the Anvil C8R, the Anvil Carrack, the Drake Cutter, and the RSI Zeus MK2. Now, I'm not sure if this is completely specific to the C8R or the Pisces in general, but it does say C8R Pisces. It also says Drake Cutter, not the Rambler or the Scout, so I'm not 100% certain yet if the liveries are going to work on those. So let's look at the different skins that we're going to get for each faction and what each faction is about. Citizens for Prosperity. Pyro can and must be saved. We know that the good in Pyro far outweighs the bad and are dedicated to giving its people the peaceful life, driving out the gangs that threaten our survival, and showing the rest of the verse the humanity in our system. So, Citizens for Prosperity, they call Pyro their home. They believe it can be saved, and they're willing to do what they got to drive out the scum of the verse. So this is one of three factions, and this is the livery you'll get for that. It looks, I'm not sure what color that is. It's almost a red. Maybe a salmon. I'm not sure. But anyway, pay attention up here on the Carrack. I'm not sure about these other ones. I think up here on the wing of the Zeus, but this symbol up here denotes which faction this livery belongs to. So again, this is Citizens for Prosperity. Headhunters. These are your unfriendly neighborhood outlaws. Sure, we steal stuff. Sure, we deal drugs, but at least we're honest about it. Pyro's real problem is the amateurs who don't know how to break the law like upstanding criminals. They're the ones bringing Stanton to our door, and these mad extremists down on our heads. Frontier Fighters need destroying, and luckily, we love a good fight. Guys, this is an interesting group. I'm actually torn as which group I am going to go with. This is the livery group for the Headhunters. Again, pay attention to the decal up here, the symbol for the Headhunters. Guys, this is a gorgeous paint livery scheme. I love this. This should have been our best in show. This is exactly what I thought would have been a best in show type of scheme. It's beautiful. I'm really leaning on it just for this livery setup. And finally, Frontier Fighters. Kill them. Kill them all. We're fighting the real battle that no one else has a stomach for. We've tried to reason with these bleeding hearts and lawbreakers, but they refuse to see reason. Citizens for Prosperity's noble mission is a joke. Pyro is a lost cause. The only way to save this system is to wipe it clean of filth and start again. It's kind of interesting. I'd love to see more stories come out of each one of these faction groups, and I believe they're going to. So again, remember, your choices are going to reflect future missions, so choose wisely. This is the livery scheme for the Frontier Fighters. You know, I'm not a fan of camo, but I really do actually kind of like this. They look good. I'll tell you what this reminds me of. There's a scene in one of the Star Wars movies, and no, I don't remember which one, but you'll probably know exactly which one. They're on, I believe, the planet Endor. Is it the Ewoks? I think it's Endor. And they are wearing a very camo-esque outfit, right? Well, that outfit reminds me of this, or this, of that. And that's the first thing I thought of was Star Wars. So, yes, I know, I'm a sci-fi space nerd. But that's why I love this game. To get started, you need to accept a faction. Again, this is very important. Decide wisely on what you want to do. And remember, your decision now is going to dictate a lot of your future missions. What you want to do is go to Pyro priority contracts in your Mobiglass when you see them. Of course, you can only see these in Pyro. Choose wisely, because completing the first mission of a faction locks you to that faction. Once you've done your first mission, you will not see the other two faction missions. So just remember that. Missions will update as the story evolves, so stay alert and keep checking back. Guys, I'm trying to be a resource for you here, so when I know there's an update, I will put it out on a video just to try and help you keep up with what's going on and to keep you from having to go find out what's going on. So once you've chosen your faction, there will be a journal-specific entry, and I'm going to show you that here in a moment. This is how you track your progress to know that you've done it. And along with that, they're going to include narratives to just touch base on what's happening in each phase. The Fight for Pyro, Chapter 2, Phase 1, started January 28th. Now, guys, this has been out for about a week now. I haven't done this yet. I need to start doing it now, but I'm going to. So the only thing you have to do for Phase 1 for Citizens for Prosperity is transport supplies to Pyro Outposts. Sounds easy enough. I would imagine you have to do this a number of times. Again, I've not done this yet, but we're going to find out here shortly. I'm going to try and record each faction. I have three accounts, so I'm going to pick one faction per account. I'm going to at least do one of the missions, each of the faction missions per video. So if there's 6 times you have to do this, I'm going to record it once, do the next step, record that one once, and the next step record that. I'm going to try to keep those all in one video, try to keep it easy and short for you. You don't need to see the repeats unless they're good. You know, some crazy shit goes down. Maybe I'll leave that in. Headhunters. Mission A, destroy Frontier Fighter supply lines. And Mission B, defend the Headhunter outposts. So guys, these sound interesting to me. This sounds kind of fun. A little more fun than the first faction. And last but not least, the Frontier Fighters. Mission A, wipe out Pyro locations. And Mission B, destroy Pyro fuel tanks. Again, I don't know how many times we have to do these each, but we're going to find out. So today is February 5th. These started yesterday. So again, this is Phase 2. This is the next set that we're going to do. Again, I got to do Phase 1 and 2. Mission A, retake Pyro Outpost. And Mission B, defend CFP server ship. This sounds kind of fun as well. Again, this is Citizens for Prosperity. Your Headhunter missions are for Phase 2, infiltrate Frontier Fighter Base for Mission A, and cripple Frontier Fighter Base for Mission B. And that brings us to our frequently asked questions. Guys, there's a number of questions here. We're going to go through each one. What is the event all about? Fight for Pyro is the continuation of the Save Stanton mission series. If you guys remember, we did Save Stanton back in 3.23. I forget which one it started, but 3.23 is when we did it. Our reward for completing those were the Ardor weapons. I really do like those. Unfortunately, I don't think we can go back and get those. I think that's going to be one of the questions here. Will I be able to join the mission series late and still participate? Yes, similar to the Overdrive Initiative, earlier phases can still be played until the event concludes. Keep an eye on your contracts manager in the priority tab to pick up each mission. However, if you haven't already completed Save Stanton Chapter 1 in Alpha 3.24.3, you won't be eligible to receive the bonus reward awarded for completing the chapters. Again, you guys, this bonus reward are the paint skins, the liveries that I showed you earlier. Next question. I didn't manage to complete Chapter 1 before this. Can I still earn the bonus reward? Hard answer, no. As the bonus reward requires you to complete both chapters to be eligible. Chapter 1 is no longer available to play, but you can earn the Fight for Pyro Chapter 2 reward. Guys, I don't like the answer to this one. I have a lot of friends in my community that could not complete Chapter 1. They were unable to do so due to game-breaking bugs. Some of them were locked out of the game. Some of them had so many bugs and glitches that they just could not finish them. So they really lost out on not one but two rewards here, the Ardor weapons and the skins that we're going to get for completing Chapter 2. So I'm really hoping they go back and look at this and do something about it, because I think that this opportunity really should be given to people to try again in a working environment. Will you run this event again in the future? Again, this is a no. This is a narrative experience and will only run once. However, the new mission archetypes created for this event can be used again in future releases. Next question. How long do I have to earn the rewards before the event ends? Guys, pay attention to this. You will have until the next patch to complete this chapter. Guys, it's really important that you do this soon, because 4.0.2 is about to go to the PTU. We're about to have that for testing, which means it's not far from release. I would imagine just a few short weeks. So definitely, if you're going to do these now. If you need help doing them, I've got a great community that's willing to help. Unfortunately, you cannot share these missions. These are single solo missions, which I find interesting, because so much of the gameplay has been pushed into multi-crew team type play. This is not that. So these are all, as far as I have been able to, as far as I've heard and as far as I've been able to tell, these are solo missions. All right, and then how will I know that my progress is complete before Phase 1 ends? Again, as I said earlier, I'm going to show you this. You can track this in your journal entry for all the faction-specific missions. So to check your mission status as you're working towards the progress of each faction mission, I did have to choose one to start so I could show you this. And I'm going to tell you now, I chose Headhunters. I love the livery from that. I'm not wild about the Headhunters themselves, but I'm going to do that as this character. I'm going to use my Admiral Snipes account for the Citizens for Prosperity, and then I'm going to use my Rogue Snipes account for the Frontier Fighters. So I'm going to try to do all three of these for you, show you what they're about in case you don't want to do them, you don't care about them, but you still want to see how they go. I will try to get these out for you as soon as possible. Okay, guys, to check your progress, you're going to go into your Moby Glass, go into your journal, which is down here about in the center. Scroll down, and you're going to see this here, Headhunters. This is the launch summary. Across Pyro, Headhunter sites and personnel are under constant attack by the Frontier Fighters. Help them respond by successfully carrying out 6 strikes on Frontier Fighter supply convoys and or outposts, and continue to assist in future missions to be eligible to receive a special reward. Those who also met the requirements of Save Stanton will be able to receive an additional reward. Again, that's the new weapon and the liveries that we saw earlier. So this is my first mission here. As you can see, for Phase 1, I've done 1 of 6 for Phase 1. So once I've done these 6, we'll move on to Phase 2. All right, guys, this is, again, how you check your status. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. I hope this is insightful for you. I hope this is helpful. Let me know in the comments. If you have ideas for other videos you'd like to see me do, also let me know that. If you're looking for a good group to play with, I've got my Discord information in the description below. I've also got the Stardust org, which has grown significantly in the last few months. So if you're looking for a great place to call home, come check us out. Guys, I love you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my next episodes as well as my prior ones. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good night.